Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
What is up, Lock Shoppers? Welcome to the Lock Shop presented by Play Alberta. Matt in for Dusty. Huss will join me in a little bit here, live at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the Lock Shop. Reminder of the codes for the month of July. EST Sports, when you deposit $20, get a $50 free bet, as well as use YEG50 when you deposit $5 or more for a $50 free bet. Right now, the Lock Shop Partner Parlay is still up for the Open Championship. Duchambeau, Lowry, and Straka all to finish in the top 20. That's plus $13.50. And then Dusty's early bird bet for today, he's looking at the CFL Stamps plus 10.5, the Lions plus 7, the Owls minus 4, the Ticats plus 5.5. That is plus 212. NHL schedule just dropped. The NHL schedule has just dropped. We will go through this right now here quickly before Huss gets here. I'm not going to read every single game. I'm not going through 82 games. The Edmonton Oilers will begin their season at home Wednesday, October 8th. Battle of Alberta as the Flames will come to town. And then the Saturday, they will host the Vancouver Canucks. The Oilers have a 5-game road trip following that. In the month of October, 2 back-to-backs on a Saturday and a Sunday. October 18th, 19th, October 25th, 26th, both on the road. They then in November have a 7-game road trip. I'm assuming that's CFR time. The 12th through the 22nd, they are on the road out east. That earlier one is also out east. So they're like whole big eastern road trips look to be gone early. I'm trying to see what their longest homestand is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. An 8-game homestand at the end of January going into February. There is obviously I don't know what they're doing in Long Island. There's some sort of All-Star or Olympic send-off that is happening. And then it's the Olympic break there. To Fergie, yeah, I'm on the air. I'll send that to you when I'm done. I saw your email. But I've been on the air since you sent that to me asking for staffing hours. I first thing I do after the show, Fergie, I will send that to you. And then after that, nothing too crazy. There's a 4-game road trip, a 4-game homestand. It's all over the place, but early on they have the big road trip and then that big homestand later on. The Edmonton Oilers will close out their season April 16th, a Thursday, as they'll host Vancouver. So they'll start on the road, the Edmonton Oilers. They finish at home, or they start at home, they finish at home. So the Edmonton Oilers season is now out there. All times are local. Local for where, according to the schedule? Is that Edmonton local, or is that local based on their city? I think that's based on the city, which stinks. Because I'm just trying to see. So the Edmonton Oilers, afternoon game on the 18th, afternoon game on the 9th. Anything really standing out to me on this? I don't see any. There's like no U.S. Thanksgiving that they're playing. They're not playing on that Friday. Is there any like matinees during the week? Standard 7:30s, 8 o'clocks like usual. So nothing crazy there. They're playing on a lot of Saturdays. Here's the thing, actually, when it comes to Saturdays. The Edmonton Oilers do not get a Saturday off until the Olympic break. They play every single Saturday. October 11th, 18th, 25th, November 1st, 8th, 15th, 22, 29, December 6th, 13th, 20, 27, January 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, 31st. They then don't play a Saturday until February 28th, like I said, because of the Olympic break. But even after that, they get March 7th and 14th off, but they play April 4th or March 21, 28, 4, and 11. So the Edmonton Oilers this season, when NHL hockey is being played, only 2 Saturdays it looks like they will be off. That is wild. They also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Sundays that they'll be playing. So a lot of weekend games for the Edmonton Oilers as well. I would have to look at the back-to-backs. There's actually quite a bit of back-to-backs here. 2 back-to-backs in the month of October. I see 3 back-to-backs in the month of November. I see 3 back-to-backs in the month of December. So it's an interesting schedule for the Edmonton Oilers. I see he's ready to go. Let's bring him in. He's wearing his Jets jacket. Huss is on the show with us now. Huss, how are we doing on this Wednesday?
What's up, buddy? I'm doing well. I'm fired up for the Open tomorrow. But like you, I'm quite intrigued with the schedule. I mean, we're gonna be scheduling our lives around these 82 games come the beginning of April in this biz. So yeah, I'm pretty intrigued. I just heard, hey, the Oilers are prime time, right? So every Saturday night we got some Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl action.
Yes, yeah, it's actually wild just looking at the schedule. It's just fully loaded with Saturdays. But it's in our business, in our line of work. It's not as much like, oh, cool, the schedule's here. What tickets do I need to go get or something? It's okay, how are we working our business around this schedule? So the Winnipeg Jets, they will open up home to Dallas on the 9th and close out at home to San Jose on the 16th. I also like looking at the Christmas time one. Ooh, you guys got a nice break around Christmas. Jets play on the road in Utah on the Saturday the 21st, then not back until Saturday the 27th at home. That's always nice. Do you guys play on New Year's? Oh, I should have checked that for the Oilers. The Oilers seem to always play on New Year's. You guys do play on New Year's. 6:30
Yes,
Eastern, though.
Yeah. Oh, at Detroit. Yeah, and then a New Year's Day game at the Leafs. And then the Saturday night at Ottawa. It's funny, like part of me looks, okay, what's going on with what the 12:30 p.m. game on October 11th? Oh, maybe that's because there's a Bomber game or something like that.
Where, at home?
Home game.
October 11th?
Yeah, let me just see here. Bomber schedule.
Winnipeg's in Edmonton that day at 5.
What? I've got for the Jets. Our Jets home openers against Dallas on Thursday, October 9th. And then Saturday, October 11th, 12:30 at home against LA.
But the Bombers are in Edmonton to take on the Elks that night at 5.
Okay, 5.
But they're a road team.
Yeah. I appreciate them not having the games going on at the same time, though, to be perfectly honest.
Is there good connection like between the Jets and the Bombers in that city? Because sometimes, like, I'll look here. I won't lie. Like, it seems like the Oilers, they just do whatever they want, and they don't care what anyone else does, and they don't, they're not going to move anything or care much about anyone else. Is there a decent enough, connection? Do you see that the Jets are a little more welcoming from the Bombers?
It's an interesting question because I would say for the first 10 years of the return of the team, there wasn't a lot of concern about the Bombers. But listen, with the success of the Bombers and how many you got to keep in mind, like, this is the smallest market. I mean, the Venn diagram of, like, never mind just general fans. Let's just talk season ticket holders. The Venn diagram of season ticket holders, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Winnipeg Jets, there's a big middle there that overlaps them both. So it was problematic. And, it's one thing when, you got 1 million people on a waiting list and tickets just, okay, whatever, I'll just sell them. It's another thing when you want to make sure people can use their seats and you want to make sure you're renewing them and all that. And I don't think they wanted to give any reason for people to have an excuse to maybe move off of seats or not be there. So, like, the last few years, they've had to move a few games. And, like, I've been pretty vocal on this program, and I think it has helped. I mean, this even goes back to our TSN days, that it's insane knowing how far out the CFL schedule is made that they're forcing people to choose from being at one game or the other. Now, the road games, whatever, it's going to happen over the course of the year like this. nice that, you can at least watch both. But, they've moved a game a season, I would say, over the course of the last few years, like timing wise. We've had, I think, 2 West finals have been, on days where the Jets have also been playing. But what really, I think, ticks people off is when you don't even consider those people and you just like, oh, there's a 6:00 Bomber game. Okay, we've got a 7:00 game here. And it's physically impossible to be there for both. So I would say that with the success of the Bombers over this last number of years and the fact that they're selling out every one of their games with over 30,000 people, it has become more of something that the Jets have taken in consideration of, and it's been good for the fans. I mean, having your team snipe each other and try and be territorial, not good for a city. And the great cities, the great sports cities of North America are the ones that you really see the teams pulling for each other. I always think it's so cool when, you see guys from one team rolling to the other game and supporting the other team. I mean, the fans love it. So that is sort of where we're at. So listen, you've taken a look at the Oilers schedule. What are the quick highlights? What stands out to you about what's going on with Edmonton?
Well, before I get to that part, I just looked at the Elks schedule with the Oilers, and on that 11th, when the Elks are hosting the Bombers, that's at 5:00. Oilers host the Canucks that night at 8:00. So there is the potential of the doubleheader. If people in the city want to do that, you can get to Commonwealth, go watch. And it's actually the fun one because you could go tailgate at Commonwealth, then go watch Elks Bombers, then jump on the LRT, get downtown, go watch Oilers and Canucks. So that doubleheader is there. Nothing like the Saturday thing really stood out to me. I also saw that they just love playing the New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, and it's 7:30 in Edmonton. By the time you're out of that barn, it's like 10:30 in media. It's like not a lot of chance to go celebrate the end of the year. But they have
New Year's
a couple.
Eve games are fun though. New Year's Eve games are fun.
Let's start them
great
early.
atmosphere.
They should not be starting at 7:30.
What, you want it earlier or later?
Yes, earlier. Yes, okay. So I look at it from especially like a media perspective. 7:30 game, 2.5 hours, takes you to 10-ish by the time it ends. By the time you're done your media stuff and you're getting out of there, it's not to I don't go do that stuff, but like the writers and everyone else. Tommy's not done his post-game show till just after 11.
What about all the ladies that Tom Gazzola is going to be kissing at midnight? I mean, he's going to need to roll in and pucker up for the long line of admirers.
Exactly, but he can't get into the bar that soon if he's doing a post-game show. That's where 5:00 should be the cutoff. 5:00. Don't have a puck drop after 5:00 or something.
We for years, in 1.0 throughout the Moose years and early on, the Jets always had a 4:00 New Year's Eve game. And it was sort of perfect, 4 p.m. It's festive. People are getting ready. No one's working in the afternoon anyways. You finish the game. Maybe you go grab dinner right afterwards, and you still have a few hours to get ready for midnight. So
does NHL have it up? Yeah, they do have it up. I will go through that right away here. For the Oilers, an early road trip to start the season, 5-gamer, but they have an 8-game road trip. No, 7-game road trip in the middle of November, which is a pretty long one. But they also have an 8-game homestand at the end of January, a little bit before the Olympic break.
You guys have an 8-gamer in January too. I'm just looking. Last year, the Jets played like the entire month of January at home. And this year it's not quite as bad, but they do have 8 home games in January.
Oilers have 11 in January.
Although they get away a little bit.
Oilers are home 11 of 15 games in January. And even if you just add like the early February, they're home 1 and then they're away 1. So, but for a period of time, it's a long time at the Oilers. Like from New Year's Eve, there will be, until the Olympic break, there'll be 12 home games and 17 games for the Edmonton Oilers. It's a lot of home cooking going on there.
Yeah, no doubt. Right after the holidays when people are broke, burnt out, and although this year, the city's probably already broke and burnt out from the cup run.
2
in back-to-back years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's almost for like people's wallets. That people, Oiler fan won't like me saying this right now, but for people's wallets in the city, it might be good if the Oilers have an early playoff exit next year just to save a little bit of cash and maybe have a big playoff run in 2027.
Yeah, well, you got to speaking of cash, you just got to make sure that cash is already doled out to Mr. 97 at some point, and then you can.
I don't think you have to worry about that one. Thanksgiving Monday, I think it's October 13th. It's also, I think it's Columbus Day down south. I like this. The Sens are playing at 11 o'clock Edmonton time, noon Winnipeg time. I like that we have a game in Canada that's being played in the afternoon. I don't know why we don't do more on Thanksgiving. The CFL does a good job. I think the Owls have taken over Thanksgiving. It seems like every year Montreal is hosting a Thanksgiving game. I would have always loved the CFL to almost have a doubleheader for TSN, and then you could have 2 CFL games, and then that goes into Monday Night Football. But yeah, it's nice to see hockey too do it. Where like the Jets are in this. I don't like the Jets are in New York to take on the Islanders. You can have that. Have a few more Canadian ones at home.
Yeah.
What do you make of afternoon games on like holidays and stuff like that?
I mean, put it this way, for the record, I hate afternoon games. I think they are a lesser product. I think the teams aren't, for the most part, as good. Now, I say that as a Jets fan, and the Jets have had a great record in afternoon games. Hellebuck's numbers are insane in matinees. We kind of called him Mr. Matinee for a long time. But the difference in going to an afternoon 2 p.m. start than a 7 o'clock start, to me, is significant. Like, I can tell you when I'm splitting up tickets for seasons, with my seasons with the guys that I share with, I will always pick the afternoon games last. But to your question about afternoon games on holidays, here for it. I mean, whether you're doing a game the Sunday night beforehand that sort of becomes a Saturday night, or for instance, on the Thanksgiving Monday, having a team play, I still think of that really as football time. So, I mean, it's more like later on in the season. Like, when is Louis Riel Day and like whatever you guys call it, Family Day, like that February holiday?
Well, but that's Olympic break this year. I was looking.
I know. Yeah. But is it the same day everywhere? Or like in some provinces, it 1 week before, and 1 week later?
Unless it's changed in the last couple of years, I think majority of the provinces do it the same weekend, except BC. BC did it a different weekend. I don't know if BC's changed and have joined everyone else now. But like I remember, like I'd see the Oil Kings would also have a game in BC back at 1260, and we aired the games. It'd be like on a Monday at like 1, and you're like, why is this game happening? It was because it was their family day or whatever it is. Yes. So I don't know if BC still does that, but I think everyone else is the same. The Jets are playing U.S. Thanksgiving Friday in San Jose at 1 o'clock Pacific time, which will be 3 o'clock Winnipeg time.
Oh, thank God it's not Minnesota. They used to put the Jets in Minnesota on Black Friday.
Oh yeah,
and I mean the list of games that went the way of the home team. I mean, Nate Schmidt famously once said, "Yeah, it was a tough game. There were so many Minnesota guys that I guess got together with families the night before." He goes, "I was sweating gravy for the first 2 periods." So I'll take the game in San Jose on that day more than some of the others. I may have to plan. We may have to plan a little visit out to Edmonton. Was it Saturday night, December 6th? Jets Oilers. That will be fun. And when do the Oilers come to the Peg? Thursday, January 8th. You guys want to sign up for a trip to Winnipeg in early January? Come on down.
I'll have to talk to Dusty about that. It's one of the few road games the Edmonton Oilers will have in the month of January. Yeah, I was just on the Canucks schedule by accident. I was trying to get to Winnipeg when I was scrolling. The Canucks in the month of March have an 8-game homestand, but it goes from their first home game being March 9th all the way till March 26th. It goes through 3 weeks. The Vancouver Canucks will just be home in an 8-game homestand. They also, oh my God. Vancouver's got a weird schedule. Vancouver in January, from January 17th through the 31st, which is 2 weeks in a day. they have an 8-game homestand. The Canucks have 2 8-game homestands this season. I don't know if I like that. I like things when they're broken up. I think the players like it too, probably, when things are broken up and you're home for like 4 games, then you go on the road for 4 and then back for 3 and then on the road for 3 or something like that. The Canucks have a weird schedule in that way.
I'm looking at the Jets in January play 9 of 11 at home, 2 quick one-day trips to Minnesota and Chicago in between. And then the Jets do have an 8-game homestand in March, from March 3rd through March 17th with 8 games. And then a couple of longer road trips. There's a 6-gamer, there's a 5-gamer, 4-3, 3-4. It's pretty, it's pretty spread out. Does Winnipeg and the Oilers play?
I see just 3.
Oh, 3. Oh, Monday, December 29th as well.
I don't see anything else.
That's wild. They're here the Oilers are here twice in 10 days.
Yeah, the 29th and then the 8th. You guys come up here on the 6th, and it looks like that's it which would make sense actually. But it's all happening in the month of December, January. It's all really quick. In the span of 6 weeks, Oilers and Jets will have their season series complete.
Yes, indeed. Hey, for Oiler fans, what are the biggest road games? Obviously people traditionally have gone to Vegas. It's a great place to go. I don't know what the dollar and everything going on, if they're there as much. What are the key ones for Oiler traveling fans? Where do they want to go to?
Yeah, Vegas is the big one, always. They're in Vegas. When are they in Vegas? In March. Do they only? Oh, they're in Vegas twice in March, and that's about. Yeah, I think that's it. Am I reading this right? Looks like it. Which is interesting because March 8th, they're in Vegas. When does the March Madness begin? Could Oiler fan plan March Madness around being in Vegas? March 26 or 2026. Starts March 17th, 18th. That's too bad. Oh, but it'll be conference championship weekend. You can head down to Vegas and be there for conference championship weekend for the Madness, and then go watch Oilers in Vegas. There's also the LA. They have their trips out west with Anaheim, LA, San Jose. That happens at the end of February. Those are the big ones. Arizona, losing Arizona sucked, I think, too. I think for the Canadian markets, losing Arizona sucked because it was just a great spot to go visit.
It's cheap to fly to. Tickets until they moved into Mullet were cheap.
Yep.
Back in the Glendale era, it was amazing.
Yeah, the run of the place.
Well, dude, when the Jets came back to the NHL in 2011, their first ever road game was in Arizona, or maybe it was their second. Yeah, because they had the home game against Montreal. They went to Chicago for a game and then went to Arizona. And I would estimate in that building there was 6,000 or 7,000 people from Winnipeg that went down for it. It was literally cheaper to fly, spend a couple days there, go to the game, than it was to get tickets in the building in Winnipeg for the first little bit. And that was an absolute takeover. One of the most fun days that I can remember.
Here's the thing about the Oilers' schedule. Also, they don't fly out east to the Eastern Conference after December 18th. They play all their road Eastern games, 16 of them by the time the season begins to December 18th. They are then after that just playing Western teams or Eastern teams in Edmonton. I don't know if that's good or bad for a team.
You get it done early.
Yeah, but it's one of those, is it good to pick up those points against your the other conference earlier if you drop them early? I think it's better to be done those because then, later on when the season matters, it's easier to maybe make up ground if you need to because you're getting those quote unquote 4-point nights, I guess. That'd be the one thing. But yeah, that's just weird that they go on massive road trips and There's like very few. By December 18th, all their road trips, they only go to an Eastern or Western Conference team 5 times. 16 and going out east. So that's a little quirk in the Edmonton Oilers schedule.
I'm the last couple of years, the timing of the Tampa, Florida trip for Winnipeg hasn't been very good. It is at a great time this year. End of January, Thursday, Saturday, Jan 29, Jan 31.
Okay, I have a question about the Jet schedule, though, for you. Let me just pull it up here again. November. Oh, no, never mind. I was looking at the wrong schedule. I thought I was looking at earlier. I was looking at Grey Cup weekend, but you guys are clear on the Sunday for Grey Cup on the 16th.
Yeah, the Jets are away that whole week, which is sort of too bad. Sometimes it's fun to have a home game during Grey Cup week.
Like a Thursday or a Friday?
Yeah, exactly. In and around. But I think just with the hotels and everything that's going on in Winnipeg, that was a good time for them to get away. And then they're right back home, Columbus, Carolina, Minnesota, after Grey Cup week. And I guess so the 16th is the Grey Cup. The Sunday, the West Final, which presumably is on Sunday, November 9th. Or did they move those to Saturdays last year, the finals?
They're Saturdays.
Perfect.
The 2 playoff games are on the Saturdays nowadays.
Excellent. I love that move. I gives the teams an extra day to prepare to get to Winnipeg for the Grey Cup. And
so if it were to happen, if Winnipeg doesn't win the West, Winnipeg's home to the Penguins at 2:00 on Saturday, November 1st. West Finals usually like 4:00.
Oh. Funny you mentioned that because, yeah, that's right. It would be
4:30.
No, that's the last week of the regular season, is it? Or is that...
No, November 1st is the first. It's semifinals. So if Winnipeg's finishing second, potentially, they would be hosting that day, and Winnipeg's home to the Pens at 2. So that'd be 5:30 kickoff where you guys are. So 2:00, 5:30. Is that enough time to make it across town? Is it across town?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the rink is right downtown, and the football stadium's in the south end. I mean, we had something similar last year. I'm just trying to think. The Dallas Jets game was moved earlier, and it started at 1. And the Bomber game started at 5. Is that right?
For playoffs, anyways, 5:30. They would be. I think they're always 5:30 East Winnipeg time.
Okay, maybe it was 2:00 and then 5:30, because essentially finished the game, walked right outside. The rapid transit picks up right in front of the arena, and it took about 25 minutes or so without traffic because of the dedicated bus lanes to get everybody there. So
nice.
That worked out well. That could be. I mean, obviously the Bombers will be hoping that they don't play that weekend and are playing at home on the 8th. But you will.
It's a tighter West, though. It's a tighter West. A couple of other points, and then I have a question for you about the start of the season for the NHL. Aidan O'Neill saying October 11th, which is that first Saturday, all 32 teams are in action that day. And then October 28th is the Frozen Frenzy. We'll have 16 games, all with staggered start times. They did that last year.
What day was that?
The 28th, he is saying.
The 28th of October?
October. And there will be this staggered start time. So on the 28th, it starts at, I'll just run through these. This is Eastern time. 4:00, 4:30, 4:45, 7:00, 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, and 11:00 Eastern time, 9:00 game here in Edmonton. Sharks and the Kings finish that off. I don't know why you wouldn't do that on the Saturday, where you have everyone going and started a little bit sooner. But they have those 2 days. The opening of the season is Tuesday, October the 7th. It's a triple header. You got Blackhawks in Florida as they raise the banner. Rangers taking on the Penguins, and the Kings hosting the Avalanche. The first game takes place at 5:00 Eastern, which is 4:00 Central, 2:00 Mountain, or 3:00 Mountain. What do you make of the NHL starting their season on a weekday at 5 Eastern?
Listen, I didn't. Now, granted, and I'll preface this. There is so much that goes into making the schedule and what these guys have to deal with when they're talking about planning original games. Like, there's a lot to it. Having the Panthers be the curtain jerker against the Chicago Blackhawks is the most bizarre opening matchup of the season I think you could possibly imagine. You know, maybe just like a team like Ottawa or, I mean, the Blackhawks are the worst team in the league, probably. And you're going to serve them up to the Stanley Cup champs?
I also just don't get from a viewership perspective, like you're kind of burying your opening game.
Yeah.
Like 5 o'clock Eastern, that's kind of when people are getting off of work out east. You know, you're now telling Panthers fans, which isn't exactly the greatest market for this, and it's not a shot, it's just not who they are. Actually, Miami's a late arriving crowd anyways for all their sports. You're telling them to show up for 5 o'clock, and before 5 o'clock so you could have the banner raising. And then who else is watching that across the two countries?
Nobody on the West Coast.
Exactly.
2 o'clock game.
And that's how you're starting your, like, just go to a doubleheader. You don't need a triple header to start that on a Tuesday. I find that decision to be weird by the National Hockey League, making it more difficult to get, promote that, hey, here's our season is starting. Watch us at a weird time for you on a Tuesday at, what is that? 2 o'clock Pacific time. If you're out in LA, if you're out in San Jose, you're out in Vancouver, you got to watch this at 2 o'clock while you're finishing up work. It just seems a little weird to me.
What? So you guys are playing a ton of home games on Saturdays.
Yeah. No, just a ton of games on Saturdays, all over the place. It's a mix between home and road. The only Saturdays they have off outside of the Olympic break is March 7th and 14th.
My big thing, and I know a lot of other fans will feel this too. I look at the schedule, there's a few things you look at right away. And then I said, okay, wait a second. How many Sundays are we playing in NFL season? It doesn't sound like very many for you guys, because if you're playing every Saturday,
there's 4 Sundays.
Not playing very many Sundays. The Jets have a home game against Utah October 26th. November, there's a night game on the road in Anaheim. Afternoon game on the 23rd. So 2 home games that definitely do overlap. Road game in December. That's it. I mean, okay, why a January 11th, 1 p.m., Sunday, January 11th, 1 p.m., going head-to-head with Wild Card Weekend? That will be, I'm predicting this right now, despite New Jersey being a pretty good team, and we're doing the picks for the games, that will be 40 or 41 of the picks. Like one of the guys in our group has a kid, so that's a great kid game.
Oh yes, easily. So the Oilers actually, they play 5 games on NFL Sundays. They play 4 during the regular season, and then they have one on the 18th, which would be then divisional weekend in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The Oilers playing a lot of weekends. That's all I know.
I was thinking long and hard about like taking a week off and going to Mexico or something in the summer, or in the winter, I should say. And usually like that second week of February is a perfect time. You've gotten through the meat of winter. You can kind of look forward to the trip, and you finish and you come back and you're just about in March. But I think because of the Olympics, that's not a time where you're going to want to not be around. So I'm thinking maybe late Jan or something like that will be the time to.
Dusty and Eric are gone with a bunch of listeners. It's I think the 22nd to the 28th of February. So after the Olympic break, but I think the flyout day is the 22nd. But it would be after probably a gold medal match.
Where are they going to?
Cancun, Planet Hollywood in Cancun, I think it is.
Oh, Mexico trip.
Yeah, very few spots left. It was with Expedia Cruises. So get in touch with Chelsea. Dusty's Twitter feed has all the info if you're looking for that. There's only a few spots left. But yeah, there's a little listener one at Planet Hollywood, and it's after the Olympics. So it's that first week as the NHL comes back. I just don't know when that gold medal game is or when they're flying out. Do we know when the trade deadline will be? There should not be games played on trade deadline.
The deadline day. Do we know what the deadline is?
I think it'll be March 6th or 13th if I could base it off of other years. The Oilers play both those days. I don't know why the NHL plays any games on trade deadline day. That should be an easy. We're off. We're in the news all day with trades. Let the players move around. Let teams deal with what they need to do, moving things, and we'll see you on Saturday, everyone. We'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, with all the new players. I guess I'm here for that somewhat. I don't like dark nights. I mean, you still want to have a game to watch. But hey, just a quick bit of lock shop business. Before Dusty and Eric go on this trip with the listeners, we need to lay out some trip props on the lock shop for incidents, likelihood of certain things happening while the guys are away. I will put that together over a few months, knowing that we've got a time that, and knowing your crew and the Nasties, like that could be a legendary. Have you guys ever done anything like that before?
At the old place, there was a trip to Mexico, I think, with the two of them. Dusty and Will, I think, went to Cuba one time with listeners. That's it. There has been a couple. But yeah, in this one, I think the plan from Dusty and Eric is that they're not going to be on the air. So we're all filling in for that one. So they're just going to be busy. I don't know if Eric's going to be sober.
Changed the lines. Changed the lines.
Yeah, I don't think Eric's going to be sober.
Yeah. Well, I was already thinking of a number of LTE related props for this, and part of it was in relation to the beginning of a morning show, but that is a game changer. If that's a week off and you boys are going to be filling in and doing the heavy lifting while they're sunning themselves and polluting their livers along with the Nasties.
It will, I think they come back on a Saturday. What's the chance I get a call on the Sunday from either of those boys saying, we're sick, we can't do Monday?
-800. Or -750 opening line.
I'm going to say this right now. If
Monday's show will be affected.
If we all have to put in the shifts for those boys to go to Mexico, they're doing the show Monday. I don't care how hurting they are. They're coming in and they're doing their jobs on Monday. If I get the message I'm sick, it'll be no deal with it. Come on into the building. I'm just throwing that one up there right now. They got the Sunday to recover.
That will be excellent. Well, this is a great time though for fans, whether you want to follow your team on the road, whether you want to plan a trip while the team is away or during an off time. Today's the day where you jump on it and
yeah, you can plan. It's one of those things. It's like, even like, can you plan, like for the Oilers? I will use them for instance here. Is there a good trip to go, for an NFL game? If you want to, put that out, like the Oilers, they're in they're in Seattle on the 25th, in Vancouver on the 26th. Can you try to get to a Seahawks game if they play on the 26th or the 27th? New Jersey, Detroit on the 18th, 19th. Can you get to Giants or a Jets game if you go to New York? Like, that's always fun too with this, is can you find a way to get a, NHL, NFL weekend kind of locked in, or even if you do it well enough, like, I don't know if this one, like, they're in Seattle. Those are Saturdays. Like, can you find a college football one even? The Oilers don't play on Friday? The Oilers don't play a Friday game until March 6th. They do not play Fridays.
That's
nice.
Crazy.
Well, when you're playing every Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Here's one for Jet fans. November 29th, Saturday night at Nashville. And then the 30th, you can get the Sunday version of the Thursday night football Super Bowl Titans Jags.
Ooh.
Nissan Stadium. The very next day. Could have a couple of number one overall quarterbacks going at it. I don't think, and then it's Edmonton. There's not really, I mean, Utah, but obviously Utah doesn't have a team. So yeah, I think that's the only chance you'd have to do an NFL / Jets trip. Unless, I mean, maybe there's a Seattle.
Well, the one where's the Jets here? November 28th, I believe, is the that's that weekend.
Yeah.
You could maybe try to hit there's Carolina on the Friday, and that's U.S. Thanksgiving, so maybe there's a college game somewhere, or can you hit the Thursday? Is there one of the, I don't know. That's the fun part about these schedules, though, is just trying to look at them and saying, can you map it out with, what's even better is when the NBA comes out, too. And then if you could try really getting a trifecta of an NBA weekend, an NHL game, and an NFL game all wrapped into one. And if you could throw a college even in there, even better. But that's the stuff. Now it's on to the NBA to get their schedule out if you really want to plan something. I think Dusty's going to need to plan something for the NBA, though, this year, because he's yet to ever see LeBron James. And who knows how much time left with him there. Actually, that's the other thing to look at is for the Oilers.
Maverick schedule?
What? Apparently they're out. He's not getting traded. The Lakers aren't. Look, you're not getting value for LeBron James.
Yeah, no, but he might want to trade. So, I mean, he runs the show. So he'll just get himself traded.
They could say, sit. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be a Laker this year. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Nothing's going to change for that one.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't worry. I could not care less. I mean, literally, I could not care less where LeBron James plays this year. But
for the Oilers, they've got the Oilers have the Pens and the Caps January 22nd, 24th, back-to-back home games. You have to be wondering if those are going to be Crosby and Ovi. You got to start looking at those. Is that the last time to see them here in person? So just throw that one out there for Oiler fans. Jan 22 and 24 for those two.
Yeah, the big return here in Winnipeg is Nikolai Ehlers coming back. That's going to be on Friday night. November 21st. And here's the big thing that I should have looked at already. When are the Jets in Chicago? Because that, of course, could it be all the way into January? At the Blackhawks on January?
Taves.
Yeah, of course. That is going to be huge. I was looking if there's two games.
Jan 19, March 31.
March 31st, the other day at Chicago. So I guess Chicago comes here 3 times. Chicago once, Chicago twice. Oh, they only play each other 4 times. Well, as I said, the schedule, we can dive into this. I'll have a better report. I've got Connor working on cooking up everything for the Jets for people on WST. Do you have any thoughts on the Open here, Matt, before we by the way, folks, you got to get your picks in tonight. TSN's coverage is going to be starting at 4 a.m. out on Ontario. So that's 2 in the morning.
2 here,
Edmonton.
3 o'clock for you guys.
So tonight's the night to get him in. Who's your pick to win the Open Championship, Iwanek?
It's always a tough one just because the weather plays into this and it could really destroy things. I like what you guys did yesterday with your lock shop parlay. To win, where would I go with this? I always will have a soft spot for Jordan Spieth. I don't think he's going to go win this. It's hard not to think Scotty Scheffler and his game. He's going to go out there and do that. I'm not sold on Rory McIlroy. I do not like I know he had a pretty good Scottish Open last week, but I'm not sold on how well he's played since he's gotten that green jacket. And I know this is his home course, and this is, the storyline is written too well for Rory to do well here. I'm not liking Rory in this one. I don't mind Xander Schauffele, actually.
Yes, that's my pick, right?
I do like.
Love it.
Plus 1780 on Play Alberta right now. Yeah, I think he can go and, he's played pretty well, I would say, this season. And I would go with Xander as maybe the one guy. I would like Tommy Fleetwood to go do it.
What number did you have for Xander?
1780 plus 1,780.
You know what's interesting, and I don't know whether Play Alberta has it, but I was looking at the odds for the field without Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy.
Oh, yeah.
And essentially, it seems like what they've done is basically the odds are about 2/3. Like if John Rahm is 12-1, he's 8-1 without those guys, which is an interesting way of betting it. We're going to do a big thing with some like a kind of a deep dive into a whole bunch of things after WST today on our channel. If people want to check that out. But I mean, as far as that top tier of players, basically going from Scheffler down to about Morikawa or Hovland, like in that 30 range. The numbers are too short for me to bet Scheffler or McIlroy.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced on Rahm. And then of that group, DeChambeau, Lowry, Xander, Fleetwood, Ludwig Oberg, Hatton. A lot of people's really like Hatton. He always seems to be there, but something just doesn't quite hit. Your guy Fleetwood, though, that would be an amazing story.
Fleetwood would be an amazing story because, like, also just the heartbreak from just a few weeks ago where he couldn't get it done. The other one I do wonder, it's like we talk about Rory and it's his home course, but the other Irishman, and that's Shane Lowry. He's gone out. He's won the Open Championship back in 2019.
At
this course. There's a guy who this season, I'm just trying to see what he's done this season. He's career-wise got 3 wins. He's got 4 top 10s this season. Missed the cut at the U.S. Open. Missed the cut at the PGA, though. T42 at the Masters. So actually hasn't had a good majors this season. But I wonder if this is where he turns it around a little bit in 25-75. Like, I wonder about Shane Lowry just because Irishman, if we're looking at an Irishman. Maybe he's one to, honestly... Do we have top, where do they show up on this one? Is it a top Irishman or do they have him as...
It's probably going top Euro.
Top Great Britain plus Ireland is on Play Alberta.
There you go.
And they've got Shane Lowry at plus 900, Rory plus 500, Fleetwood at plus 1,000, Tyrrell Hatton plus 1,100. I do like the idea of Shane Lowry at plus 900 to take Great Britain plus Ireland, though.
Did you say Rory is plus 500 in that group?
For top Britain and Ireland.
And what's his number to win the tournament?
605.
Oh, okay. Listen, folks. If you like Rory, I mean, you can get him at 5-1 just against the guys from England and Ireland, and he's barely more like 100 more for the rest of the field with all the Americans, like including Scheffler and all that. That, to be honest, that seems like a wonky line. If you like Rory, I would. That is something that I would be hammering. If you feel that like Rory has it, just because, like, are you with me? That doesn't seem to make sense.
What?
6-1 against the field, 5-1 against just the guys from England and Ireland.
Like for him to get the 605, he has to beat every single golfer in the course.
Yeah.
For him to get the plus 5, what did I have it as? 500. He just has to beat a handful of guys.
That's wild.
You lose, 100, it goes down 100, but it's a lot better for him to win, and that's a big number at plus 500. So I do agree with you on that one. As just top Irishman, he's plus 125. Shane Lowry's plus 225. So that's not you might as well go Great Britain, Ireland, because that adds Hatton, that adds Fleetwood, that adds Fitzpatrick to this, Robert McIntyre, Justin Rose. But yeah, to your point, if you think Rory's going to do well this week, that means he's probably going to do better than any Britishman or Irishman, and plus 500 is great value there. So that's on Play Alberta. If you scroll down, it's down there in the golf.
I get
picks.
on that early. That to be honest, that sounds like a mistake. So you might want to get in. But I mean, yeah, you're taking out. I mean, it takes out Rahm too. I mean, Rahm's a Euro, but he's from Spain.
Yes.
So instead of 6-1, you don't have to worry about Scheffler. You don't have to worry about Rahm. You don't have to worry about DeChambeau.
Shoffley.
The other three top odds guys, and then Xander, Oberg, Vic Hovland, Bobby McIntyre's a Scot. I don't think he's involved in that English or Irishman. He's probably not on that list.
No, he's Robert McIntyre's on that list.
Okay, so they call it Great Britain, I guess.
Yeah, it's top Great Britain plus Ireland. So that whole region's there. But yeah, you're getting plus 500 there. And like, how many people can you bet on that one on this list? Where did it go? Oh, I just lost it. Because top Euro, Rory McIlroy is plus 320. But yeah, I agree with you. Like it's good value there. I just lost everything I was looking at there with that one. But yeah, it's a lot less of who people he has to go beat versus the rest of the field. So anything else you liked going into this one?
Well, you know what? I mean, for this sort of event, I mean, a couple guys that I have sprinkled on at numbers that I really liked. I got a piece of JT at 60. I've always thought he's going to win this tournament at some point, and often we see some of the Americans that people are sort of sleeping on actually perform really well here. I think of Morikawa 4 years ago. Nobody had that. I mean, Zach Johnson in 2015 was 125 to 1. I'm going to take a little piece of JT. But if you want a long shot at a great number, Ryan Fox has had an awesome year, very familiar with everything out in Europe after being playing on the DP Tour for a number of years. Has been a top 20 machine, won, of course, just a few weeks ago. And I've seen him as high as 100 to 1. So I'm going to have a little piece of him. I'm going to get in him on a top 20. And we'll figure out a couple more to bang out before the end of the day. But it's a fun one. The last call for glory, Matty, last major. It's weird with this new schedule. We're done the majors in July. And then obviously it's FedEx playoffs and the big one, Ryder Cup, later on this year. That's
always the fun one. I always can't wait for Ryder Cups. Huss, tomorrow we'll get into this weekend of the Canadian Football League. What's coming up?
Amazing matchups in the CFL.
I know.
For us to talk
Davis Alexander confirmed that he'll be playing for the Montreal Alouettes tomorrow. What's coming up on WST?
Well, we're going to do kind of a similar thing to a little bit more of a deep dive into the Jet schedule for Jet fans here in Winnipeg when we dive in. And then we will be getting ready for the weekend in the Canadian Football League. Get a latest from Bomber practice, talk a little bit about all these games coming up this week. And get ready for a little trip to the track tonight with our picks for the ponies, too. So should be fun, but a full breakdown for Jet fans of what's to come for the 82 that was just released earlier today.
Beautiful, Huss. We will talk tomorrow. Enjoy WST coming up in a few minutes.
Later, Matty.
There's Huss, WST. Check out their YouTube channel. Him and Remus, they've got you covered coming up. And like I said, in just under 5 minutes on WST. Want to remind everyone something we announced today with the Edmonton Elks. It is the Edmonton Sports Talk Labor Day bus presented by Canadian Club. We are going down to McMahon Stadium. We are going to take over for Labor Day. It is $150, but if you use the promo code EST Labor Day, it's $125, a ticket to the game, transportation to and from Calgary on a bus, 2 Canadian Club beverages, a post-game pizza. We will be on the bus with you with EST, some of us. We'll stop in Red Deer on the way to the game. We'll get there for the tailgate. You'll be able to watch the game. We'll all be sitting together, a bunch of Elks people, and then driving back up to Edmonton after the game, probably getting back about 10 o'clock at night, departing at 10 in the morning-ish. So about a 12-hour day to go watch the Elks take on the Stampeders in the Battle of Alberta down in Calgary. Go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com. At the very top, it will say Labor Day Bus. Click that link. It'll take you to the Elks page with the bus there. And then join a bunch of us as we will head down to Commonwealth to take over McMahon Stadium and cheer on the Edmonton Elks. We've got Oil Stream coming up. We've got EST Afternoons. We also have Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. That is all coming up here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. Reminder on the promo codes for this month here on EST. It's EST Sports. Deposit 20, get a $50 free bet, as well as YEG 50. Deposit 5, and you'll get a $20 or $50 free bet as well. I believe it's Hernan and Reed coming up next with the oil stream. I think I've got it, Hernan. I think I got everything proper. That is coming up here on your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, Edmonton Sports Talk. Thanks for tuning on to the Lock Shop. On behalf of Huss, I am Matt. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hernan and Reed coming up right away.